last video, we finished up all the main pieces of the album. Now we're going to fill it out and put on a couple of finishing touches. First, we're going to start with adding pattern paper strips here to the gussets and to the points where the pages attached to the binding, as well as some of the smaller gussets on the individual pages. I'm going to trim these gussets to a width of, so that's a 1/2 inch gusset, so I'm going to trim the pattern paper to about 3/8 of an inch for all of these, and these are all 1/4 inch gussets, so I'm going to trim the width on those pattern papers to 3/16 of an inch. now we've got all the gussets covered. It's time to go ahead and fill out this album. Got quite a few cut aparts left over. All different kinds. Some strips, some, these are actually 2 by, I think it's 2 3/4, something like that. Got a whole bunch of this left over to help decorate. So I've pre-cut a lot of 110-pound cardstock to use as tags, or at least bases for tags. Went ahead and grabbed several dies. I'm not sure what I'm going to end up using. And for the cover, I've got these flowers. Some of these I purchased at Michael's a long time ago. Some of them, I forget what collections they came with, but I think they're going to work really well with this album. And last night I set some Nuvo drops up to dry. So we'll be attaching some Nuvo drops. I don't have enough pattern paper to mat all the tags that I want to add to this album. However, I do have Distress Oxide inks and some stencils. These are a couple of stencils from Tim Holtz. As you can see, they are well loved. And this is a stencil that I picked up at Walmart a long time ago, but you can still find it there. I'm grabbing it for this hexagon pattern. As I was doing the die cuts, it occurred to me that on fin number 4, we had a couple of motifs show up that hadn't showed up anywhere else in the album, and I want to make sure they get introduced before the final fin. So I die cut these postage stamp pieces out of the leftover scraps that were large enough to do that, and hexagons. So I thought I would also bring over that hexagon motif to the tags through stencils. So let's go ahead and get our mixed media on. these turned out really cute. I decided to go ahead and cut some smaller cardstock pieces and kind of repeat the same process, because I know I'm gonna have some sections in the book where the full size tags, how big are these? I think these are 4 inches by 5.5. And there are going to be some places in the book where that's too big. So I cut some that are, looks like they're just under 3.5 by 5 inches. They were probably supposed to be 3.5 by 5 inches, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and cut some tabs, because I have a feeling there are going to be some places where I want some pull tabs. And then we'll get started with filling out the album and embellishing it. I'm going to do a little bit more with these smaller ones. This stamp is called Vine's Background by Deep Red, and I'm going to use Potting Soil Archival ink. And I'm just going to stamp it in some random places just to give it a little bit of texture. And this effect, I got this by taking a wet napkin and laying the hexagon stencil on top of the chicken wire stencil, the one that looks like this, and going through that with a wet napkin that way.